Hi everybody. Today we will continue our ESPEasy series and we will talk about the MPRSx8 Home Automation Board Easy Firmware configuration. So as you remember from the last time, I was showing you how easy it's to change the firmware on the MPRSx8 board, and actually we replaced the existing AI Thinker firmware with the ESPEasy one. Because it was requested, as you remember, and you can see in the related links, I've showed you how to do it with the, let's say, standard USB adapter, the one that has auto reset and all the bits and pieces, and also how to do it with a very cheap and easy to find eBay USB adapter. Yeah. Now, what I will try to do is to show you how to configure the ESPEasy firmware and how to prepare it for the Domoticz integration. So I'm thinking to split this tutorial into parts. First part will be related with the ESPEasy firmware configuration, and of course the second part will be the full Domoticz integration and the final tests to see how it's working. So first thing first, let's go very quick again through the firmware upload process. I will do it again because I think it's a good idea to have everything in one file and to see exactly what's happening step by step. Okay, so as previously, I have the same ESPEasy firmware release 147. It's a release candidate 8. I've downloaded from the website and extract the files. The only thing that we need to do, as happened last time, it's to use the flash command, choose the desired used COM port. In our case, it's 1. It remains the same 4096, and the build is 147. Now, as you can see, the firmware upload process has already started, and it will be ready very soon. The next step will be to reboot the ESP8266 module, and because it's the first time when we are restarting it with the ESPEasy firmware, it will try to connect to our Wi-Fi network. It won't be able to connect because it doesn't have the right credentials. So it will go hopefully in the AP mode, and then we can connect directly to it and start the configuration. Okay, as you can see, it has finished. Now we can press any key to continue. From now on, I like also to have open a serial monitor if you want to see exactly what's happening. So I will just close the command window and I will start a serial connection to the module. Okay, as you can see now, because this is the first time when we are starting it, it's doing first the flash erase. So it has already rebooted and has started the flash erase. As soon as it will finish, we hope to see it booting normally and to try to connect to our Wi-Fi network. If you are not using this, let's say, serial monitor interface, you can see now very clearly why you need to wait a little bit after you are flashing your ESP8266. Yes, because as you can see, this first erase flash process takes about 1-2 minutes. Yeah. I've seen that a lot of people have said that, oh, okay, I try to flash it, but it's not working, it's not rebooting, what's happening? This is what's happening. This is one of the reasons that it might not start and boot. Yeah. Okay, so this is the first boot. You can see it here. We have booting build number 147. Has tried to connect to Wi-Fi, but it's no SSID defined because it's brand fresh new. So what can we do now? It's to just take a look on the Wi-Fi and to try to find out our ESP. It might be this ESP0. We will try to connect to it. Home network, close. And now connected to the ESP0, we can take a look a bit to see what IP addresses we have allocated. As you can see, our computer has now the IP 4.2 and the default gateway is 192.168.4.1. So from here you can see clearly what will be your ESP8266 IP address. Okay, so let me try 192.168.4.1. And voila, this is the setup interface for our ESPEasy firmware. So we are connected in the AP mode, and as soon as you try to connect to the IP address allocated for the ESP8266 module, you will jump in the setup page. Yeah. Now, in terms of Wi-Fi setup, you need to find here your own Wi-Fi network. In our case, it's ESP Lab 1. We are here in the ESP Lab 1, and you need to type your password. This is the today password that we will use, and now the ESP8266 will try to connect to the Wi-Fi network with the provided credentials. And if you are looking in the serial monitor, you can see here that it was an attempt to connect to Wi-Fi, and the report is that Wi-Fi is connected. That means that the SSID and the password were okay. Yeah, this is a good way to be sure and to check that you didn't mistype your SSID or you didn't mistype your password. Yeah. Going back in the web interface, we can see also that the ESPEasy firmware has reported the fact that it's connected to the Wi-Fi network, and this is the provided IP address. Yeah. So for the next steps, we will connect back our computer to our local Wi-Fi network. Yeah. So in our case, we need to go back to ESP Lab 1, yeah, and we should use this IP address for accessing the ESP8266 module. Yeah? So let me type this IP address, and now we are in the main screen of the ESPEasy. You can see ESPEasy new device. Uptime 4 minutes, the IP 192.168.1.2.20, gateway is 11, build is 147, and so on. Yeah. So it seems to be everything okay until now. Now we will start the specific configurations if you want for our MPRSx8 home automation board. let's just give it a name, MPRSx8 1. If you want, you can also add an admin password. You can add also a different VPA AP mode key here if you want. It's your choice, your option. What it's also necessary to be done here in the main config page. Be sure that you have the enable protocol Domoticz HTTP, and we will locate controller using the IP address. Yeah, and in our case, the IP address is 192.168.116. We can check this thing very quick. Let me start a new session. We will connect this time to the Raspberry Pi, where we have the Domoticz server running. Yeah, you can see here it's 192.168.116. Okay, so what I like to do when I'm doing debugging, it's also to activate in Domoticz the log file. Yeah, so my log file is in the temporary directory under Domoticz. Yeah, so as you can see here, now we have a live log file for the Domoticz server, and we will use it later. Okay. Okay, so back to the configuration. We have protocol Domoticz HTTP, locate by IP address, controller IP 192.168.116, controller port is 8080, and for now on, no user, no password, and let sensor delay be 60. Yeah? Okay, let me submit the new configuration. Okay, next step, we will go in hardware. In the hardware, for the Wi-Fi status LED, we will use GPIO2. For SDA and SCL, we will try to use GPIO 4 and 5. We are not interested in SPI, and we will not change the boot state for the pins. Yeah, so this one can be submitted again. After finishing with hardware, we will move on the next tab, the devices tab. And here we need to define our, let's say, 8 mains relays access. Yeah. So we just need to add a new device. The device type is switch input PCF8574. Let's give it the name MPRSx8 driver. It will be no delay. IDX variable, this is very important, and you need to write them down if you want to use some special numbers. Yeah, so we will just choose for here, let's say 1, and port, let's say 69. What's happening here? For each relay control that we have on board, we have a separate port. So this is the way that we can actually access the relay and actually switch on and off the mains relays. Yeah. So as you will find in the related article, we have an allocated table of ports, of expanding ports that we are using for these 8 relays. Yeah. So in our case, let's suppose that the one for IDX variable 1 is port 69, and we will allocate also a name for it, and this is relay x1. Yeah, the x, it's the allocated number that you can find for each relay. So this is x4, x3, x2, x1, x5, x7, and so on. Yeah. Okay, so we have the relay x1, idx variable 1, port 69 relay x1, press submit. Okay, now if we are going back, we can see that we have defined a new device. It's a switch input, PCF8574. It's an MPRSx8 driver, port is 69, variable it's 1. Of course, it's using GPIO 4 and 5 because it's on I2C, and we can see also the value for the relay X1 that it's 0. Yeah. Okay. Now let's try to test it to see if it's everything okay. So 192.168.1.220 control command. Okay, so let's try to put a 1 on it, and you can see the response. Yeah, so it's just saying that GPIO 69 is set to 1, and here we should see some things happening. Okay, so I don't know how to make it easier to be seen.